I want to welcome you back to online course and info product marketing domination. Today we have another interview with Landon Shaw. To give you a little background, Landon is the co-founder of Culture Marketing. He's the CEO of Landon Shaw Media, and he earns over 6 figures a month. Landon has also done marketing with some huge companies such as Discovery Channel, Disney, and Caterpillar. So how are you doing today, Landon?
Doing good. How are you, Alex?
I'm doing well. Let's get straight into this. So what kind of got you into this online space?
Well, I think my journey started as a very typical story. Most people getting into like, how can I make money online, trying to find some kind of side gig or, whatever it may be. So I started actually with drop shipping, and long story short, after discovering all that you need to do to be successful with drop shipping, led me to Facebook ads, Google merchant and shopping ads, and email marketing. So I went into a deep dive, learning all I could with that. I got one of my drop shipping stores to become profitable, and I started working with a pretty big digital marketing agency called Weekend Digital. And so I was studying under Brandon K. Fink and Tommy Patterson and some other big names out there. And that was kind of what got me into the digital space. So that was both a mixture of info product and e-commerce, with a heavy emphasis on e-commerce. And that's kind of how it all got started.
Awesome. So what were some of the trials that you had to overcome in the way, I guess your failures,
Yeah, well, going from working with these guys, with this group of people, and learning what I did with them, spending millions and millions of dollars on ads to discover techniques. And I kind of developed some skills, particularly in Facebook at the time, and some family, friends, and other business owners around, like the circle of just people I know, they needed help and realized, oh, you're doing some digital marketing. Is there a way you can help me? So I kind of started off as just like helping, semi-freelancing, and kind of got overwhelmed with the amount of clients that I had. And it made more sense. So, okay, I'm going to do this on my own rather than be with this team. Anyways, some trials that I had to face, and that was really learning the back end of structuring a business. Really, not just a digital marketing agency selling info products and e-commerce physical products, but the actual setup of, how do you actually onboard a client? How do you set up the payment plans? How do you take them through a really successful client experience, so that not only are you giving them results, but they like working with you and it flows and it's easy. So as far as trials go, that was the biggest, about probably 4 to 5 month bump of bringing on clients, setting up expectations inappropriately or without, lacking knowledge, and then moving forward into new clients, going, okay, now I know how to set it up, and new clients, how can I set it up? And there's only so much you can learn from info products on the subject. There's only so much you can learn from asking others in the industry who have done it. It just takes experience of learning how to onboard clients. In terms of trials, I think that was probably my biggest trial.
Okay, cool. So at what point, I know I didn't ask you this before, but at what point did you feel like you found success in your business? Or I guess at what point did you quit your job? Or did you have a day job before?
Okay, yeah. So that goes back. I actually started off in music. I had 2 degrees in music, and I was doing that for a while pretty successfully. But the problem with that was I was traveling a lot. And once I got married in June of 2018, I realized like I can't do this anymore. And that's what led me into drop shipping. So it was mid 2018, late 2018, I became successful with that and started with this other team. So then it was towards the beginning of 2019, early 2019, I had discovered the business owners in my immediate circle who needed help. I started making more on the side than I was with this team. So I guess it was it was a really slow transition from my normal job as a musician, doing my own thing, making my own money online. It wasn't enough to quit what I was doing. So I was still performing and teaching, actually. And then it was about early 2019 is when I decided, okay, I'm done with music. I'm making enough online working with a team and my own drop shipping stores to quit my day job and stay only online. That kept me at home. That was really good timing because just a few months later, I had our first son, and yeah, and then yeah, so that was that transition. So then there was another transition where I had a day job working with another team, and it was about 6 months after that I had, it was about a year, almost a year and a half of actually practicing digital marketing that led me to find success doing it on my own for other businesses, which is why early 2019 is when I had founded Landon Shaw Media and Culture Marketing, kind of on accident throughout the process of figuring it out. And then it was mid 2019 that I actually left the team I had started with for a while.
Gotcha. So you're coming up on the 2-year mark.
Yeah, 2-year mark in digital marketing. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. So what instrument did you play? Or do you play all of them if you're a teacher?
Well, actually, I was a vocalist, and I have 2 degrees, 1 degree from Cal State Long Beach, and then my master's degree from University of Southern California, USC, in vocal performance with an emphasis in opera, actually.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, let's refocus on these questions. That was my fault. So who do you serve, and what exactly do you do?
So when it comes to e-commerce, we service businesses and brands that sell physical products like apparel, accessories, supplements, beauty products like lotions and face washes and stuff like that. And then we also serve people who sell info products. So that kind of has a wide array of niches because, to be successful in the info product business, you have to be pretty specific in your niche. And in that area, I specifically help people build their audiences. So I think the biggest struggle, the biggest pain point that most people that have info products, their biggest pain point is actually getting new audiences, getting discovered, building that audience, not just like building your email list, but actually getting people interested in you and actually creating that, that, like I think Russell Brunson calls it, like the cult following, that cult kind of following. That's what people have the hardest time with. And so that's something I really focus on. I like to say that I focus mostly on revenue-driven actions. So anything that can actually be every action I take can be attributed to a dollar. So there's it's completely transparent my value to you as a business owner. So anyways, yeah, I think that was kind of a roundabout saying I serve brands who are trying to grow, whether you're a physical brand or a personality brand.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what are some of your marketing tips for people who might be new to the online space? Any tips you got for them?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a wide range of people. So like, I can think of myself in all the different stages I've been in. So like when you're starting out, just learn as much as you can online from info products. If you can, purchase any, if you can't, find a mentor, join a group, be an intern, be willing to work for free for a while, because the most important thing to learn digital marketing, if that's what you want to do, Facebook, Google, email, whatever it is that you want to do, you need to see it happen. You need to see the systems in place, and you need to be involved in it on some level. You need to see the money going across the screen and how it brings back in money. So you can see what's working, what's not working, and the variations of how that can play out through different accounts. Whether it be like a Nickelodeon. We served Nickelodeon for a while, helping them sell products, actual physical products. We had licensed with them. So like kids stores, how do people function on kids stores? Obviously those are adults. How do people function on an active apparel like store? How do people function on like a Discovery Channel store, right? So like, how do people function in your personality world? So you have to watch that actually happen from behind an ads manager board, whether it be Facebook or Google, to really learn. So if you're doing it yourself, like of course, I guess or drop shipping, or you're doing your own brand, my recommendation would be the same. But if you're selling your own info product, I would say focus on content. Content is what bring people in who are going to be your cult followers. Focus on driving people's curiosity quickly at the beginning of whatever video you're doing, giving them immediate value, and then following it with long stories that continue to provide that value. I think the actual most difficult thing for info product personality brands, people who are making videos to intrigue new audiences, the hardest thing that they have understanding is like the psychology behind creating videos and how people interact with videos. So not just how you place your videos in like what order you send them out, whether you're spending money to get them out there or just uploading them organically on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, but understanding how to put your video together. So I know that's like a lot of random different recommendations, but yeah, I don't quite know exactly who I'm talking to, so I just try to keep it a little bit more broad.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Do you have a favorite platform to get started? Like, let's just say you go to Instagram, blah, blah, blah. And I know Traffic Secrets came out and I know, but what's your take?
I would say it depends on how much money you have and what your goals are. But in my experience, knowing I wanted to sell products, physical products online, start on Facebook. You're just going to get the quickest interaction based on, because you can be on Instagram and Facebook, selling, like going into actually an ads manager and spending money on images and some copy, sending that message out to people who might be interested in you and trying to get them to your website. I would say start there because it's the most visible. You get so much data back so quickly and it's so obvious. In Google, it's a little less obvious. It's a little bit more cold. Like you're bidding on keywords and you're seeing, like what kind of interaction you're getting with that. What's the click-through rate? And then also what's your conversion? So you can have a really high click-through rate and a low conversion, and it's not as obvious as to why. It's obviously just like it's resonating with what it is that your ad is presenting to people searching that term. But once they get to the website, it's not as obvious that they are interested in that thing. So it's just not as obvious. So Facebook, I would suggest, is the first place you want to get started.
That is awesome. That's some good tips. Thank you for that. So how about our final question? So what are your plans for the future, 2020 and, I guess beyond, where do you want to take this?
So my business partner and I are focusing really heavily on culture marketing. So you can go visit us at culturemarketing.com. That's CULTR marketing.com. We spell it a little different. But our goal is to grow that up quite heavily. Right now, we have about 3 key players helping us across media buying, sales, and internal structures. And then we're performing heavily in the accounts. And so our goal is to, by the end of 2020, to be at 7 figures a month, revenue driven to our clients. So we're pretty close to that mark. In 2019, we had spent 10 million and generated over 40 million in revenue. So our clients are a little bit on the larger scale. So 7 figures a month per clients, to be clear. So that's our goal for culture marketing. As far as Landon Shaw Media goes and info products, I want to find, right now I have 3 personality brands that I'm helping right now. I had 5, I've let 2 go just because they weren't serious, they weren't invested in it. I want to find at least 5 more personality brands to build a close relationship with, because it's such a close relationship with your digital marketer and your personality brand, because it's just a really tight team effort. It's not like, oh, I have outsourced agency. It's like I go deep inside of what you're selling. I could become as close to the expert as that product, as the personality brand is, and develop that tight relationship to really grow these personality brands. I want 8 by the end of 2020, and right now I have 3 solid teams that I'm working with that fit the bill of what it is I'm looking for in a client.
That is awesome. Well, you'll also find his links, down somewhere below. Well, that's it. That's awesome. Thank you for all the tips. And I want to thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'll see you around. Thank you.